Well, good morning. I'm Brent Adams here with your Rural Strong Morning Ag Report for this Tuesday, December 5th, the 339th day of 2023. Leading off the headlines this morning, a one-year Farm Bill extension does not mean the Senate is done. Some hope to start work quickly to get a full bill passed before the election season starts in 2024. That may be difficult, according to Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. She says while she's encouraged by the extension, she's not happy about it.
But having something is better than having absolutely nothing. So we've bought some time to continue working through a number of issues.
Ernst thinks there's a lack of farm in the Farm Bill.
If you look at the overall bill, only about 15% of what's being proposed in the Senate Farm Bill is actually farm-related, farm programs. The rest of it is focused on food programs and things like climate change.
A lot of items she thinks may sound good, but contribute to an overly large cost. Ernst says $1.4 to $1.5 trillion proposed in the Senate this year for the Farm Bill.
That's why we think we need to work on it, continue to whittle down the cost of the bill, but make sure that we're focusing on our hardworking farmers and ranchers.
Well, the Iowa Corn Growers Association is proud to be a partner for the first ever NASCAR Cup Series race in Iowa. The Iowa Corn 350, powered by ethanol, will showcase ethanol's performance at the fastest short track on the planet, which is surrounded by cornfields. I'm pleased to share why choosing higher ethanol blends benefits everyone, said Stan Nelson, president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. We can make a sustainable difference today without buying a new vehicle, but by simply choosing instead to fuel up with ethanol at the pump. He also says ethanol is the most affordable fuel option on the market today. The race will take place at 6 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, June 16th, 2024, and be shown live on the USA Network. This race will give us as farmers a platform to share the benefits of ethanol, said Jolene Reeson, president of the Iowa Corn Growers. Well, Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota and multiple colleagues introduced legislation to address federal overreach and provide regulatory certainty. The Farmers Freedom Act of 2023 would protect the definition of prior converted cropland in the Biden administration's most recent Waters of the U.S. rule. For far too long, producers have been subject to a number of complex and burdensome WOTUS rule changes, Rounds says. The previous Navigable Waters Protection Rule worked to protect owners of prior converted cropland from undue regulation while providing producers with needed flexibility, he said. He added that legislation seeks to restore the definition of prior converted cropland and prevent further overreach on farmers and ranchers who know their land better than any D.C. bureaucrats. Kevin Kramer, a Republican from North Dakota, one of the co-sponsors, says landowners need more freedom to use their land as they see fit without excessive and burdensome environmental regulations. He added that producers are always the best land caretakers. Well, farm debt balances at commercial banks grew steadily in the third quarter, but loan performance remained strong in the Kansas City Fed's district. Despite some indications of slower lending activity in recent surveys and subdued loan demand for some lenders, outstanding debt at commercial banks in aggregate grew at a pace similar to last year. Alongside ongoing strength in farm finances, delinquency rates on agricultural loans dropped for the third consecutive year and remained at historically low levels. Steady loan growth has coincided with a pullback in deposit growth and firm liquidity at agricultural banks. Profits for agricultural banks have stayed solid with support from higher interest income. The balance of agricultural debt continued to increase alongside a growing demand for production loans. According to commercial bank call reports, farm debt was 5% higher than the same time last year and increased at a similar pace for almost 2 years. Well, one expert says USDA's new 2023 farm income forecast raises some concerns for 2024. Here with the details is USDA Radio's Gary Crawford.
USDA says net cash farm income this year will be about 21% below last year's record high at just under $158 billion. However,
it's still above the long-term average.
And still leaves the farm sector in reasonably good shape this year. But USDA's chief economist Seth Meyer told me he's a little bit worried about 2024.
I'm an economist, and I'm a worrier. I always worry about these things.
And he gets paid to look into the future and yes, to worry about it. And he says first, for farm commodity prices,
we see prices coming down. So I do, again, continue to worry about margins that we'll achieve on the farm. So we might even expect a reversion to something smaller in terms of net farm income. I might even just from a momentum standpoint anticipate some further declines.
But that's strictly unofficial. We'll get USDA's first official forecast for 2024 on February 7th, so mark your new calendars. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
And finally this morning, backed by unpopular demand this year, is this true story about how at this time of year, things can sometimes get a little nutty for Christmas tree growers, especially those who have choose and cut farms. Here again is Gary Crawford.
Oh, yes, go nuts at Christmas.
Ah, yes, we do. Now, there's a big Christmas tree farm owned by Tom Dull and the Dull family.
Our motto is brighten up your Christmas with a real dull tree.
But life's never dull for the Dulls this time of year.
I recall one call I got during an ice storm, 11 o'clock at night, and this guy called. He says,
"Yeah, listen, I need a Christmas tree."
I said, "It's 11 and the trees are covered with ice." I said, "You understand that?"
Oh, yeah, you see, but my mother-in-law's here. She has to have a Christmas tree. You hear that now?
And I said, "Well, okay, we'll get you a tree. When do you want to
Yes,
come?"
I'm coming right now.
I said, "Okay, come on out." He came, but he brought the little sports car to put this ice-covered tree in. He got his tree, he left, and I hope his mother-in-law was happy.
But that shows you that farmers are almost always good neighbors,
Well, we tried to be.
even when things go a little nuts. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Washington.
Well, you can keep up with the latest in the world of agriculture by subscribing to the Tractors and Troubadours podcast from Rural Strong Media. Each week, I bring you agriculture industry newsmakers, hot button industry issues, educational features, and the best in traditional country music. The Tractors and Troubadours podcast can be found at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. We also invite you to join us daily on Rural Strong Radio, our 24/7 streaming radio station, found at ruralstrongmedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app for your mobile device. Each day, we bring you our award-winning agriculture programming, as well as the best in traditional country music, mixed in with a little bluegrass, western swing, southern rock, and inspirational music, and now featuring your country Christmas favorites. Again, the place to find Rural Strong Radio is ruralstrongmedia.com or the Live 365 streaming radio app. We're portable, so take us with you everywhere you go while you're working on the farm or ranch. We'll get you through those long, challenging days. Well, I'll be back again tomorrow with another Rural Strong Morning Ag Report here on Steve Shetler Media. Make it a great day, everybody.